Howdy folks, RozaldVane here, and welcome back to another episode of Zero Escape 999. Zero Escape, 9 hours, 9 persons, and 9 doors. Last episode we basically we found Ace. He waddled in his pain of not knowing that he was falling into a trap, and then weirdly enough, June disappeared in existence and forgotten somehow. And now Junpei and company is trapped in the incinerator, while Santa and Ace went out of the incinerator, trapping us in there. So we're kind of in a desperate hope of trying to get out. But at the same time, we are now recalling Akane's memory and hearing Akane's truth in this particular reality, where she's seeing both what's happening in the past as a kid and seeing what's happening in the future as a spirit slash vision of what Junpei is seeing. So basically she's transmitting all the stuff that she's been through here in her childhood time and kind of portraying it down to Junpei, and then Junpei is kind of like not thinking about it or seeing it, but Akane is explaining it in a weird way. So yeah, so we're kind of revisiting this childhood version of her and like seeing what she saw or what she did in this particular scenario of the Nonary games that she saw as a kid. So anyways, let's get into it and see what she has to go through. The fight died down and we gathered around him.
僕には妹がいる。とても大切な妹だ。今は旧島の方に連れ去られて、一生懸命僕に情報を。その妹の名は四つ葉。今日は彼女の9回目の誕生日なんだ。
I think the audio was not cutting off at the right point. It should have been like reading the 2 sentences first and then the rest on the parts, but then they didn't apparently cut it off. They just kept it going without letting me read the rest, which was weird. As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. Clovers. Oh, so that clover idea came from Snake, and that's why Santa remembered it. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers.
このクローバーは誕生日プレゼントとして妹に贈ろうと思っていたものだ。ここに拉致されてくる前、近所の原っぱに行って積んできたんだ。みんなも知っていると思うけど、僕は目が見えない。これを9本も探すのはかなり骨が折れたよ。その思いが少しでも伝わってくれればと思って頑張って集めたんだ。9つになる四つ葉のために9本の四つ葉のクローバーをね。
See, that's what I meant. Like, he says all these lines, but that's not the 2 sentences I'm seeing right now. There's more to it, but they're not letting me see the rest until he finishes speaking. Because if I click on it, I get hit by the cutoff of the audio, which really sucks. Okay, or I could have just put auto, but I feel like auto won't even do that either, I think. Yeah, I wonder how he can see his 4-leaf clover pickings if he's blind. You guys can pause and read, I guess. I mean, honestly, all he's saying is that he was blind, but he was able to find the 4-leaf clover by touch, I think, and then he wanted to get this gift to his sister because it's important to her, and it's her 9th birthday. And that's why he wanted 9 4-leaf clovers, which is funny because that's conveniently in the Nonary game.
みんなにも離れ離れになった兄弟がいるだろう。どうかその兄弟のことを思い出してほしい。彼らのためにも僕らは絶対に生きてこの船を脱出しなきゃならないんだ。わかるね。
I really hate it because it's like, come on, just let me see the text and don't make me cut off the audio because I don't want to cut off the audio.
そのためにやらなければならないことは3つある。仲間を信じ、愛し、希望を抱き続けることだ。みんながこの3つを守ってくれるなら、必ず幸運が訪れるだろ
う。Okay. Yeah, that's the message that Santa gave us. Trust, love, and have faith. It's like the key things to having, yeah, the good luck. Okay.
希望、信頼、愛、幸運。実はこの4つの言葉は四つ葉のクローバーのリーフワードなんだ。 葉っぱの一枚一枚に意味が込められていてね。それが今教えた言葉なんだよ。
Oh, maybe that's the trick to getting out of the space because of Santa. Santa might have relayed that same message to kind of get us into that sort of thinking. Those words are leaf words. Yeah, each leaf represent those 4 points.
さあ、分かったらこれを受け取ってほしい。誓いの証として。
Oh. He gave a clover to each of us. I took 1 and 2. Eventually, he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say.
どうか忘れないでほしい。それを持っている限り、僕らは永遠に仲間だってこと。
Well, Santa never forgot.
いいね。
Oh, oops. He said "ine," which is like, "Do you understand?" or "Are you good? Are we all good?" kind of thing. I guess is what he's trying to say. But "Do you understand?" is technically what he's saying with "ine." When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before it was gone. We were calm. Silence. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time it was only 1. But if there was only 1 door, that meant only 5 people could escape.
どうすればいいんだ?
I'm guessing it's one of the other kids.
他に扉はないのか?
Yeah, well, there was another dialogue line previously that wasn't any of the characters here, but they didn't read that for some reason. We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gotten bad enough already, they all got trapped and
Emergency alert!
Yeah, they were about to get burned alive if they weren't getting out.
Emergency alert! Emergency incineration command has been confirmed. Automatic incineration will take action in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately.
Yeah, so that's when 7 heard that, I think, and he had to like rush to get to help them.
Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been confirmed.
なんだ? 何が起こったんだ? 今の放送は何?
Oh, they don't understand English because they're young kids.
なんて言ったの?
My brother Aoi swallowed hard and answered.
この部屋が焼かれるらしい.
He ain't wrong.
焼かれる! 表のプレートに焼却炉って書いてあった.
Oh, he can read.
そして今のアナウンスは焼却の開始を告げるもので.
That's amazing.
だから
That's amazing. He could read that English. He can read the English language there. Oh. Sorry, I'm looking at the time. I don't know why I'm looking at the time so early. Anyways. No, I'm trying to think. Yeah, those are the same lines that 7 heard from afar, I think. Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, 7. Filled high up on the wall, a door opened and a man appeared. Wait, didn't 7 said that like a good chunk of them disappeared? Like 5 of them already went ahead of him, I think? Oh, wait. So did he see all the kids? He saw all 9 kids, probably, when he came through the door. And the other 4 probably told the 5 to go and, like, save themselves. While the 4 that stayed behind would take this opportunity to work with 7 to get out their way. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him 7.
安心しろ! 敵じゃねえ! 刑事だよ! お前らを助けに来たんだ!
Okay. I mean, we've seen the scene already. Sorry. Give me a quick second. I'll take a pause here for a little bit. And, yeah, let me check something out. And then I'll be right back. It's a very quick check. Alright, I am back. Apologies about that. Let's keep going. The rest happened just like 7 had said it did. Okay, yeah. The 4 of us who had stayed behind were saved by 7. Oh, so they just cut forward without telling us that the other 5 literally walked off or something like that. That kind of sucks, though, that they didn't state anything about it. We crawled through the vent away from the incinerator and slid down into the hall. We came out of the other side of the door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Oh, Akane led the way? Behind me were Nona, my brother, Aoi, Snake, and 7. The other children, the ones who'd gone through door number 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and kept going. The stairs spiraled upwards like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they caught up. If they had caught up. That was when I realized. Wait. She said Junpei's katemono? What's a katemono? I'm trying to think. Katemono. I know mono is object or thing, so I don't know what kate is. Present. Wait, why did she... Ah! So you're saying that the reason why she went back was because she lost her present that was going to be presented to Junpei? I knew I had it with me where we passed through the vent. Then, had I dropped it as we slid out? I had to go back. I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. Really? Are you so stupid to just go back for just a silly present? Your life matters more than a present to Junpei. Junpei will still love you no matter what, man. Oh my god. Akane, really? They would stop me. I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think. I simply moved. Oh my god, so she literally did this to herself. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship. I hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a rush of wind as they ran past me, up the staircase. Oh, so she was way ahead of them. But then this group thought that she fell behind because they were just mindlessly running. But instead she was just hiding in the shadows, letting them pass her, and then she would turn around and get whatever. Then they would realize she was gone. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. Why? Why? You could have just... Oh my god. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down and down. Finally, I reached the bottom deck. I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically. It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. Why would you not notice it either? When you run, or when you're about to escape, you could have noticed it sitting there if you were actually being a little bit more careful. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back towards the stairs and freedom, Ace jumped out of the door and grabbed her. The door to the incinerator opened, and a man stepped out. It was Hongo. Gentaro Hongo. 9 years later, we would call him Ace.
Yeah, よく戻ってきたね.
Screw this guy. His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical and as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth.
さあ、一緒に行こう。実験の続きをするんだ。
This guy sounds insane. Like, this guy literally does not care by the fact that he just wants somebody dead. That just sounds like his sickening line right there. I shook my head, open eyes wide. Slowly, I began to walk backwards. One step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Then, I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist.
さあ来るんじゃ
This guy's so insane. Ace, what the hell? He does deserve revenge here, though. Like, judging from how he was able to grab Akane like that, definitely would not care for Ace. If he died in the most torturous manner, he deserves it. There was an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could. I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I had no match for a man like Hongo.
ジタバタするな言うことを聞け
You know, as a kid, you could still kick him in the shin and he would still hurt or something like that, or stomp on his foot. Like, even if you don't have the energy to, like, break his grasp, you can still hit an adult in some of the weak spots or something, or hit him in, like, kick him in the jewels, the family jewels, man. Like, that kind of thing still exists. He's not a metal, he's not a robot. He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed. So that's when they probably arrived. Then suddenly...
Akane!
Yeah. The door to the stairs flew open, and my brother Aoi burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake.
Akane!
He cried my name again as he leapt toward Hongo. I cried out. But then... okay, the line was not read. Ha! You're too late, idiot! Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator. The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked towards the open door number 9. Hongo was standing between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fist clench. But those fists never reached Hongo. Oh, that was the door number 9. I didn't know that was what that spiral staircase was. So the spiral staircase was the door number 9 all that time. I didn't know that. With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically. His face registered that was an object there. That there was an object there, but not anything we would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the bed that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. Wait, what? He waved them over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What? What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past me as though I was nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later, the 2 other doors slid shut as well. If I was Akane at this point, I would have run out and try to, like, figure out a way to hide somewhere while he kind of tried to hunt, you know, Akane down. But this is so weird that she didn't get up and run. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran towards the door with a 9.
Akane! Akane! Daijoubu ka, Akane?
I could hear a voice from the other side of the door. A worried, frightened voice. My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room. Wait, so why did Ace just put the 2 numbers there and then left as it was nothing? And also, did those 2 bracelets have a number or some kind of thing to guide us to know what the hell's going on? Then it started again.
Emergency alert! Emergency alert!
I'm gonna skip over the emergency alert. I mean, it's
Emergency
obvious.
incineration command.
It's obvious there.
Automatic incineration will take action in
Wait, this is Junpei's view. Wait, what?
18 minutes.
Wait, Junpei is here too now? Oh, I see. So they're switching it between each other to help guide us figuring out how the hell we could get out as Junpei and Akane.
Please evacuate the incinerator immediately.
So we could change the past and the future if we can communicate to each other and how to get out of here. Holy crap. Man, I knew what it was gonna say, but that is one hell of a creepy voice.
やっぱり
始まったな。サンタが自動焼却システムを作動させたんだね。
I see. So this is the point of the game at this point. So it's gonna probably become... Is it becoming a puzzle? It's gonna become an escape puzzle here, I think. Then this point's gonna be an escape puzzle because it's gonna be seek a way out, but this time we're gonna be seeking a way out as Junpei and Akane from the past to the present because they feel like they want to make it interesting, I guess, this way.
9年も経ってまた同じアナウンスを聞くことになるとはな。
No worries, I heard.
はあ？なんなのよあんたたち。さっきから9年前だの実験だのわけのわからないことばっかり言って。
Yeah, because Lotus wasn't there.
すまんヤシロ、とてもじゃないが今は説明なんてしてる場合じゃない。
We'll talk about it over some alcohol when we get out of here, Lotus.
無事にここから脱出することができたらその時に教えてやるよ。
でも
Incineration will start in 17 minutes.
Wow, a minute passed so fast. What the heck?
聞こえたでしょ？それともなんて言ってたのかわからなかった？
Yeah.
バカにしないでよ。今ぐらいの英語ならわかるわ。だったらもうわかったわ。
Let's figure a way out.
それじゃあもう聞かないわよ。さっきの話は後回しにしてあげる。だからその代わりセブン、なんとかしなさいよ。
はあ？なんで俺なんだよ。
いいから早く焼却システムを止めて。
どうやって？
どっかに緊急停止ボタンみたいなやつがあるはずよ。
ないよ、そんなもの。
なんで知ってんのよ。
Because they've been here before and they've been through that before.
9年前に調べたからだよ。
Yeah, Lotus isn't happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait. The floor. It's moving. Excuse me? What? Was this thing in the past before? What else can I say about it but...
なんだよあれ。
Oh, Akane saw the same thing.
なんなの？あれ？
What else could I say? The floor opened and a machine rose up out of it. It looked like a computer. At least, it kinda did. There was a monitor, a keyboard, and a cross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself to walk up to it. I was terrified. Tears poured down my face. I wiped them off, even as more took their place, and forced myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. Oh, no. It's so sad to see Akane's face like this. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me from the glass, drenched in tears. All I can see is on this screen is a reflection of my face. I'm looking kind of freaked out. Oh yeah, Junpei, I can see that. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home. Okay, Junpei, just calm down, alright? Everything's gonna be okay. Gah! Man, I wish that thing would just shut up.
Incineration will start in
16?
15 minutes.
Wow, 2 minutes passed. Alright, back to this thing. If it's only showing up now, then it's gotta be important. But what the hell am I supposed to do with it?
ちょっとどきなさいよ。
Go, Lotus, go. Gah! Hey, we're all tense, lady. That doesn't mean you have to get to shove people around.
主電源は入ってるみたいね。でもモニターには何も表示されてないと。弱ったわね。何も映ってないんじゃ手の打ちようが。
Sure, I'll just push buttons and I'm sure that'll... Oh, there's an actual puzzle. Huh, well at least it's on now. What's going on the screen though?
何？
なんだ？
パズルみたいね。
It is a puzzle, yeah. It's got a bunch of numbers and letters scattered across a 5x5 grid. The numbers range from 1 to 8.
もしかしてこのパズルを解けば焼却システムが止まる。 そういうことかもしれないわね。
No, don't think so. Alright, puzzle, how do you work? Oh man, you goddamn voice again. 14?
Incineration will start in minutes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the whole saying weird time. I just want to know the time and just leave on with it. Crap, 13 minutes. Can we really go through this? Can we get through this? My heart feels like it's gonna pop. My heart was pounding like it was about to explode. Oh, same emotions. I stared at the puzzle on the screen. I was sure I had to solve it somehow, but I had no idea how. My connection to Junpei had been gone for a while. My mind was gone. I couldn't get any more information from him. I felt the seconds tick by as I stared at the screen, completely lost. My cheeks felt hot as tears poured down on them. Then I heard a voice. How about screw you, Hongo? It was muffled. I turned around. Pressed against the window in the entry door was a frightening evil face. It was Hongo. How long had he been watching me? He was yelling, but his voice was still muffled. Okay, he just sounds insane. His laughter was muffled by the door, but it still tore at my heart like the claws of a vicious monster. I bit my lip and glared at Hongo, struggling to hold back my hot tears. It called him a pervert. I mean, hentai is not just pervert, but it's also like weird person, somebody who's like out of the ordinary, I think, is another term to it, I think.
言っただろ、パズルを解きさえすればいいんだよ。そうすれば焼却システムを止めることができる。
Really?
止められたってどうせ同じでしょ。あなたに捕まってもう一度同じようなことさせられるんだ。
That sounds...
私はあなたの言いなりにはなりません。
That sounds about
こんな
right.
こと何度も何度も繰り返されるくらいなら私はここで死にます。
Okay, that was a long-ass statement without me having to understand what was going on was what she's saying.
やれやれ、君はまるで私の話を聞いていないようだね。私はフェアな男だと言ったじゃないか。
You ain't fair if you didn't let the kids escape the way they did, though.
パズルを解いたらレッドの認証機能も復活するようになってるんだよ。今のような理由で実験を投げ出されては困るからね。それで先手を打っておいたんだ。
Interesting.
レッドの認証機能って。
So it's to verify the fact that we can get out. And that puzzle is what that confirmation is. Then I remembered. Hongo left the room. He had scanned 2 bracelets into the red.
気づいたかね。今、レッドには2つの数字が入力されている。1つは1、もう1つは3だ。
Oh,
ところ
that's...
で、あかねくん。君のバングルナンバーはいくつだったかな?
That's really interesting. So 1 and 3 is synonymous, is similar to the idea that Ace and Santa are those 2 numbers. I looked down at my left hand. Number 6. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's number 5 because Santa did say that. Her bracelet was number 5 all that time. So that's why Junpei and Akane share somewhat of a similar wavelength because they're both the same numbers. The face of my bracelet showed a 5. 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 9. I ran to the door with the 9 on it. I grabbed the red and pulled my hand against the scanner panel. Nothing. So it's not activated. It's not gonna take... It won't take input until we solve that puzzle.
だが君は本当に人の話を聞かないやつだな。
I hear Hongo's muffled voice from across the room.
パズルを解いたらレッドの認証機能も復活する。そう言っただろ。
Okay.
当然じゃないか。君はバカなのか。そのぐらい確かめなくても理解したまえ。
The way he speaks is just funny to me.
なんでこんなひどいこと。
It's an experiment.
はあ、君にはわかるまい。猿に囲まれて日々を生きていくことの辛さなど。
Okay. So he's saying he's filled with idiots in the office.
さあ実験を始めよう。 パズルを解くんだ。
Also, it just sounds like he was just like, it's kind of like it's just an experiment, bro. But it's like instead of a prank, it's an experiment.
無理です。私には解けません。
そんなことは承知の上だ。だったらどうすればいいか考えろ。
Oof.
わかるだろう。携帯形成板にアクセスして解放を受信するんだ。
But who is she gonna go to? She's the transmitter, not the receiver.
できません。
できなければお前は死ぬだけだ。生きながらにして身を焼かれてな。暑いぞ。苦しいぞ。
Jeez, Ace. His horrible laugh echoed across the room, and even after his face disappeared from the window, I could still hear it.
Incineration will
Okay, okay, I don't care. As long as you just tell me the minutes, I'm done. I don't need to hear incineration's beginning. I was crying, great gulps, sobs broken by hiccups that shook my body. I was terrified. I could feel my fear pressing down on me like a tremendous weight. Somehow I forced my shaking legs to carry me back to the device. I stared at the monitor.
解けないよ。こんな問題、私には解けない。
Remember, the experiment requires you to be at the heightened sense of fear, and that's how you can communicate with the other. What was I going to do? I didn't know. I didn't even know where to start. Fear scattered my thoughts, and all I could think of was how was I going to die. My palms were sweaty. My palms are sweaty. No, I gotta stop. My palms were sweating, and my blood was boiling in my veins. It was hot. So hot. I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. My heart roared in my chest as if it would pound itself to pieces. Oh, find a way out? Is it coming back? I reached into my pocket. I wrapped my hand around the thing I'd come back to get. The doll Junpei had given me. At least I had that. I held it tight with both hands and prayed.
助けて。純平君。助けて。助けて。純平君。純平君。純平君。お願い。助けて。
Oh. And so that's why we're here, because we're forced to try to save her. So we're here, it's giving me goosebumps, but we're here because we're here to save her from the past. Right now, the past is not real yet. Like, we're not, I have to stop here for now, but right now, we're facing the fact that this is what she encountered in the past as a kid. But we're here to save her. We're not here for revenge. We're here to also save Akane. So it's half revenge, half saving someone. And that's where this actually means a lot. And I think that Zero was actually Junpei in a weird way, maybe. But it's an alternative version of Junpei, because Junpei understood that he had to be here and try to save Akane, because Akane died in his reality, Zero's reality. But in fact, we need to be the one who needs to save her, because we know that that's where it's going. That's really cool. I like that. Like, the twist is that Zero isn't just Jun, but Junpei as like an alternative version of himself, telling himself that he needs to get there, and Santa is only there to just guide that sort of like system to make it replicate that exact thing. That's really, really, really interesting. I like that a lot. That's really something that's different and a cool twist that I never thought would actually happen. That's really interesting. Alright, cool. Thank you guys for watching. Next episode, let's seek a way out, if it does display that thing. But otherwise, that's it for this episode. I'm gonna take a break, and we'll get into the panic and tenseness again in the next episode. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one, or whenever you mind, and hope you guys have a great, amazing day, or good night, or whenever watching this. Roz, out.